Hello, my friends. I'm Kate in the Nest, and welcome to my channel. It's great to have you here. I hope you're well, and I just wanted to share my excitement with you because it's Sunday morning here, a bit windy. So actually, I'm just realizing these flowers might make me sneeze or cough, but it's all worth it. We have this beautiful tree that literally flowers overnight, and it is the most glorious display. And I was just struck by this little one that was being blown off. And I always say spring is a little unfair, and I don't really mean that, but these beautiful blossoms struggle to be born and bloom, and then the wind comes along. So before they all blow away, that's my flowers for you today. And I'm sending you hugs and love. Okay, I've had some busy times, as we all do, and I have rewarded myself already this morning with a little bit of a stitch in bed. I've got my nest that I carry around the house with me with all sorts of threads in it. I've been finishing off a few projects. I have this little pins, needles and scissors that I've shared with you, and that's going. And that led me to thinking about scraps, because we all love ways to use bits and pieces up that we find just sitting around our nest. Look at that. Where did that come from? It doesn't matter, because I have been working on this piece, this collection, and you've seen that a fair bit lately. Which I'm loving doing. And originally I thought I was going to put this piece, gifted to me by the beautiful Michelle McKillop, an incredible quilter. And she's made some books, literally fabric books, out of her quilting scraps and shown them on Instagram. So at my workshop, she gifted me this and said that this was already a pocket. So that's given me some ideas. And so rather than put it on this bigger work, I want to hero this piece. So this is not my work. This is Michelle's work out of scraps. And as I'm always learning, as we all are, it's great to see Michelle's technique. Like, there are straights, then there are triangles, and I don't use those diagonals very much, but I absolutely love that. A piece has fallen off in all my moving it around and carrying it everywhere I go. So that'll give me a chance. And many of you loved this horse fabric, which I do too. So that's my spirit of adventure. And as I'm heading to India for the first time, I've got a few of my things that I wear, not from India, but make me love that idea. And so I'm going to make it into a piece similar to my smaller one, and the size is going to be directed by Michelle's piece. So that's going to go like that. And remember, we're thinking scrappy little bits, and in no means do we mean scraps as in not nice. In fact, you've heard me go on many times. I don't like calling them scraps, but they're leftovers that we can't throw out. Okay, so the idea is I'm going to work on this, and then we would open up, and I've got a few things. I had this little shrine piece that could easily tuck in there with my signature fringe, and that could balance that out. So it's a bit bigger, but that could be a pocket already done. And I love that that's already Indian braid. In fact, the more I think about this would be really good, because I could bead that as well. That's from Marigold Interiors in Melbourne, that stock brand braids and trims, which actually brings me back to this, because this is where Bron got them from. Okay, the story. See, I have to have a story, because the other things I have is my beaded bird. And I was just thinking it makes it heavy, but you know how I like heavy in my hands. I haven't placed this one yet, and I thought about maybe the horse is the spirit of adventure on this one, but this is play. I hope I've asked you how you are, because I'm rabbiting on now, aren't I? In the flow. I was also thinking originally of Karen is a quilter, and this is a piece of vintage quilt and vintage colours, and I loved that I had this frill, and it would go. But that's too many good pieces in the one piece, so we'll think about that. I've also got this little piece that, again, you've seen me make. So mini makes and itty bitty bits influenced by Kelly are really what I'm loving at the moment. So that could be my pincushion on this side, in fact. This could be threads. I need the, actually, the needle threader could go around there and hang down. This could be, yeah, and because this is traveling, I only need my travel snips, and they could be in the front of this. So, who knows? But let's have fun together. Sometimes people ask me, like, where do you start? And it's always different if you've been around here for a while. I'm sort of not formulaic, except I need my blanket. And when my blanket runs out, I'll use wadding. But I notice that Michelle has this beautiful, it's like a thin linen, or it's not calico, it's very soft and fine. And that's her backing. But for me, my instinct is I have to put that onto blanket. And I could do that separately, which I will. I was going to say, or I could go straight through, because if that's going to go over, it won't show. Okay, let's do it. Does it matter which way the blanket goes? No, but I like that idea there. And I did, in my anticipation, yes, I have. I've just threaded up some of this pink. So here we go. I love starting new pieces. I think you know that. But I suppose the special thing about this is it was gifted. So it's a memory and a story already. And I think Michelle said there were lots of her last little pieces of things on this. So I feel particularly honoured. And a sense of adventure continues. So I'm doing, see, just can't help it, I'm wonky. Where I'm sure you'll be more precise, and I'm going to slow down because I've got a knot there, have I? Yep. See, I talk too fast. check that you can see me. Yep. Actually just thought then, my crazy mind, maybe I should hold up a sign and say, give them a break, Kate, and stop talking. So this is very methodical for me. I'm actually coming down here and going to this stripe. I'm going to try stitch. Must be a funny feeling for Michelle, seeing, wondering, she's probably nervous, what I will do to her beautiful piece. We've got a green door again this week, which is amazing. So we had it last week and again this week, so I'm thrilled. And I think the lovely Karen, I don't know whether I told you this before, but Karen from Railway Cottage Studios has booked in. Her quilt did really well at the Sydney Quilt Show, and she's heading to the Highlands for a few days with her mum. So I'm very excited that we might meet. Because it was her seeing her Nautica quilt that inspired me to make my one flower at a time quilt. That's where is she now? She's been to Melbourne twice, to Sydney, and I think she goes to Brisbane, and then she might come home to me. So this is now becoming more my style. I'm wandering to get the most pieces down with the one piece of material, one piece of thread. We might applique this piece on. I just mean by doing a different stitch because I'm bored. I don't know whether they're straight. We'll do straight. I've decided that my stitching, I do really feel now like a young quilter in the States who way back in the 30s or 40s or beyond that, when out of necessity needed to put a quilt together without much stitching material, and that's how these stitches are, just getting in and out. Purpose. Yeah, look at that. I've made it go wonky even as a whole piece, I think. Or maybe not. actually, truth be told, I have, but that is the style. So let's put that pin there. Michelle explained that this is, she had planned this like a pocket, and I love that. It's like our junk journaler style. There we go, I can solve that. In fact, I can solve it all the way. Now, let that poke out there. We'll just bring it here. And it's only you, my friends, that will know that that was supposed to come down straight. Because I'm realizing I didn't actually pin it to the blanket. So pretty. Okay, let's change thread. This is why I could never be a quilter. Can you see this? The precision. I just mess it up. It's exhausting. Okay. Let's I found this big. No, not right enough. Oh, I'll bring this nest over. And let's think about our colours. Bit of fluoro. Oh, that's nice. It's got a bit of everything in it. And so is that one. You never know what you'll find in here. That almost. Oh, I'm just filming at the moment.
Sorry.
That's right.
I couldn't hear you.
My husband just came in and he usually can tell. There you are, you got to meet him accidentally. I must have been being pretty restrained. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's enough of those. Oh, all sorts of things. Anyway, that's my nest of their little Woolies wool, and I collect them and I take them to my workshop. So, that sounded very official. I'm sorry. I'm filming at the moment. Okay. Here we go. That could go on there, couldn't it, somewhere? Isn't it funny how, you know, some days I wouldn't dive in there, and now I just feel quite excited to having fluoro pink and green. My husband will be in shock because I don't usually film of the morning. Okay, let's go here. A few layers to get through. Oh, collect to the scissors as well. So again, it's just a little bit of a running stitch with a accidental, goodness me, accidental battle with a pin. Now I feel like we could make a feature of the stitching over this, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm just going to focus on getting it down. It's like a natural, there's that seam. It's because there's a few layers, a bit of a tussle. But worth every little bit of it. Oh, here's a battle, everyone. I'm going to get through. So that's doubled up, and then through it to the blanket underneath. So to keep it straight. Oh, there's a stab as well. You can see why I need to use blanket, because if that was just the one layer with linen for me, I just could not do that. Not done an accidental over the side. So no one picking that is telling me. Let's add some texture. I'm doing it the wrong way, but it's getting me up. There we are. And now, because we're over here, hope to get some different colour coming. Nothing yet. Turn around and come back. Vary the length of the stitches. So I've either got to do 3 in my little rule in my head or 5. And I think even with that, we're not going to get to the green colour change on the end, which is a shame. So if you're new to slow stitching, and quite a number of you say that, just take me as a bad example, but maybe as a beginner project, that literally the more you do it, the better you get. And some of us are incredibly precise. Most of us are wonderfully okay. And some of us, like me, no matter how hard I try, it just is not perfect. And I don't beat myself up about it. I just go, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Go over seahorsey. Few extra stitches there to show that we're joining him on to this piece. And here comes a sneeze, sorry, whenever it comes. Okay, I can take those pins out. All pins are out. Now another way would have been to invisibly stitch that. I'll leave that one in because I don't want to lose the feature of that. There we have the start of the cover, which we would then open. Now the other thing I could do is actually make that. That's what I'm going to do. It feels so much nicer in my hands. That is going to be the back. And then actually on the plane I could have it closed with that and my snips in there for my thread. So in that quick time, look how many decisions have been made, how many scraps have been used. Still lots of opportunity to play around, and by the end these, and it doesn't look like it now because this blue is, you're going to go, there's no blue on here, Kate. There isn't, but it will be an accompanying piece that will bring me joy when I'm making it. Let's see, calf facet, I tell you, there's lots of fun things to be done here today. Maybe, we will see. So from my nest to yours, thank you so much for joining me wherever and whatever time you're watching this. Keep well, take care, and as always, grateful to have you in my nest with me. There's it. Oh, that other one. Love it. Okay, see you soon. Bye.